We are nearly at Joe's exhibition, which I'm massively looking forward to be fair. I think it's like, I've always said, it's so good to actually connect with like other artists that are on social media and just to network in general. Like, it was exactly the same with Erin when we went to go and network and kind of go and support her show, which, by the way, you can see just there. But it'll be good to see her, speak to her, and hopefully we'll get some tips, because she's actually in a commercial space, the kind of thing that I want to do. And hopefully we'll get some tips from her as to how you can actually get your work into these kind of places. So let's go inside. Always got to be thinking about the social media content as well, do you know what I mean? Her work's cool though, to be fair.
Just the kind of stuff that you you follow and things like that.
What do you mean by follow?
You get inspired by.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, seeing her in this space, this is like exactly the kind of thing that I want to be doing. Like, this is slightly different to being like in a normal gallery, commercial gallery, because this is actually like just a commercial space. So the I think it's like actually a bunch of offices, but like high-end offices that they've like commissioned her to come in and do and put her pieces in there just to try and see like whether they'll sell, whatever, because there's like a great walkway here where everyone's kind of walking past. And that kind of appeals to me a lot more than kind of like the traditional gallery system. So anything like this is exactly what we want to be doing, do you know what I mean? I know Joe literally just from social media. So I think, I can't even remember exactly how we connected or whatever, but we've been speaking since, I don't know, for a good few years now, what have you. When she was like, oh, do you want to come down? I was like, yeah, of course, because, well, yeah, it's just nice to support, and I'd like to think that if it was the other way around, you know, people that follow me and like my work would do the same thing.
Good, how are you?
This is amazing.
Oh, bless you.
On social media, you can't always appreciate how big some of these pieces are. I think that one thing I will say is that a lot of people say about my paintings as well, they're like, they don't appreciate how detailed they are until they see them up in person. And I think it's the same with the size of Joe's works. It's like, these are actually massive works, or like very big works, and you don't really get that sense always from Instagram. So that's just interesting to know when you come to these kind of things, you know? For those that don't live in London, Threadneedle Street is literally right behind this building here. It's like, imagine it being like in here, basically.
Quite trippy.
Oh my god, she is literally the nicest person, and I'm so glad that this whole place is still really full, like, because that's not easy to do. And like, more importantly, well, I guess selfishly, it's given me like some really good ideas going forward of like how I can get my stuff into like spaces like this, so that's going to be amazing. But more importantly, guys, this is still a new channel, so I need all the support I can get. Remember, I get back to every single comment that you reply, so please do help a brother out and subscribe just down here. And I think this is the part where I say, get back to the studio. Is that a little bit cringe? I don't know. Anyway, back to the studio. Coming away from Joe's exhibition, I don't know, it just made me like realise a couple of things. Like, just off camera, we were just chatting, and she was saying about the fact that she was a management consultant and I think a lawyer or solicitor, one of the two. For years before she like made the transition to like full-time art. And I know that I get a lot of messages on Instagram about like making that transition, or people that want to make art their full-time thing. And the kind of advice that she was given was that like, was just like she was unhappy doing what she was doing before, and she felt like she needed a change. Now maybe that's a luxurious position to be in, because I know that obviously it takes money to be able to kind of do the whole art thing, but it just got me thinking, like, I always personally, if I'm being honest, always wonder like what could have been if I'd have taken my TV career like the full way. But she just made me realise that like nothing's ever binary. You can always go back to start. But at the same time, like, what if it pans out, or what if it plays out better than you could ever imagine? If you are willing to take the courage and kind of make that big jump, it can actually be an amazing thing. And she's kind of testament to that, because we've seen her show tonight, and I mean, she's literally in the centre of London with, I would say arguably outside of Oxford Street, that's about in the city as busy as it gets, that specific street, because that street goes from Liverpool Street to Bank, and that's where all the kind of city workers work. So yeah, it's something to aspire to, and maybe almost kind of in myself reconfirm that what I'm doing is going in the right direction.
Keep going, keep going. Yeah, when you're ready.